All right, boys, we have a serious one. So as I was mining on Subnet 93 Bitcast X for Void's brief, Subnet 106, I wanted to highlight some things. It didn't work out for the brief, so I'm going to quote reply to myself because I think it is very important as beginners for you to be able to protect yourselves when it comes to Subnet investing. So a while back, I was also tweeting about Subnet 106. I was interested to buy their Subnet token because I thought they had an interesting dynamic where they were burning 100% of miner emissions and we wouldn't get that usual miner sell pressure for that subnet. So I thought it was an interesting concept, something new. I wanted to put a little bit of my Tao into that subnet, just to support the idea as a holder. And it was clearly stated in this article that there was a 100% miner burn and they were plugged into the subnet just for the Bittensor architecture and the subnet, peer discovery and validation mechanisms. And now they kind of changed it to this. So if y'all want the whole debacle of what's going on, I was discussing a lot over at Tao Stats with Doug. He helped me a lot to understand what's going on under the hood with miner burns, so I learned a lot. You can read that tweet to understand if Subnet 106 really burns their miner emissions or it's something else that people think. Again, I'm not judging, I don't care. I just want to protect myself as a subnet holder. That's my only goal. I don't care, people can do whatever they want. And you can clearly see here, I said thanks for the reply. Do you have control over miner emissions to where they're routed? Because you stated 100% miner burns. This simply means that alpha is burned. Nobody has access to them. And he clearly said yes. And then he went on to, explain himself. But this for me simply means that Subnet 106, or the team at least, has control of these supposed 100% miner burn emissions. And we've seen large token outflows to exchanges. According to this tweet, as you can see, Doug laid everything out. Speaking of subnets, guys, I am on VoidAI's main website page right now. Just to tell you that VoidAI 2.0's bridge is finally live. So you can click launch app right here. It's going to take you to their front end application. You can connect any MetaMask or EVM wallet to bridge, stake, or swap any of your Bittensor native assets onto other chains such as Ethereum, Solana, or Base. You also have access to liquid staking derivatives. So what this means is that once your Bittensor assets are on other chains, you can get access to ST Tao, so staked Tao, and you can potentially lend this derivative into DeFi so you can still keep receiving, the staked yield of that subnet plus whatever DeFi yield is offered on any other chain. So it's like a dual reward system. It is also secured by the Chainlink CCIP bridge. So this literally wraps anything Ethereum native and you can bridge it to other chains such as Base, and you're gonna have XTAO. So this is super interesting. We are seeing VoidAI, helping Bittensor fly out of its shell, into other ecosystems with bigger pockets and bigger players in those ecosystems. So basically with VoidAI's bridge and what they're building, you can trade any native Bittensor assets such as your Tao tokens, even your subnet tokens from any MetaMask wallet or any other EVM wallet. So this bridge is actually also one unified interface to find you the best possible swap path, which is basically their smart router when it comes to swapping assets. I will be leaving a VoidAI link in my description if you guys are interested to holding your assets onto other chains. So I wanted to show you as a complete beginner, how do you verify this under the hood, simply put. Because if a subnet simply states we burn 100% of our miner emissions, and then you go over to Tao Stats and you see 414,000 alpha tokens burn, you're gonna say, oh, these people, they're burning all these tokens, alpha burns in buybacks, but there's more to it. You need to understand how to look up these things in a simple way. So it's very simple. Just click Tao Stats Pro, head on over to integrate your tools to the API section, and one click generate an API key. It is completely free. You have 5 free calls per minute. Next up on the same page, you're going to scroll down and click documentation and head over to the API reference section. This is where you make the API call. You're going to scroll over to Subnet and select get burned alpha, and you're going to be able to see all the alpha tokens that subnet burned with a little bit of more information. Input the net UID of the subnet. In this case, it's VoidAI subnet 106. Don't forget to paste your API key here. I'm not going to do it. It's going to appear in the request. And then you can have clear picture of how they're burning their token when. So you can clearly see that their last burn was actually on February 11th. So they haven't burnt nothing for almost 10 days. And if you head on over to the amount section, this is a very small amount. This is basically in RAW. So 100 billion of that amount is equal to 1 Tao. If you divide this by 100 billion, this is the equivalent of burning 0.02 Tao tokens in alpha. It's literally nothing. And their last 100% miner burn, which was actually 100%, because one epoch, I don't know how to pronounce that, epoch or epoch, whatever, is 361 blocks, which is 72 minutes. If you multiply that by the miner emissions, 41%, this gives you 148 alpha tokens allocated to alpha out for that subnet. If they really burnt that, you're supposed to see this number every 72 minutes because they burnt all the alpha emissions every 72 minutes. So 148, etc. But you clearly don't see it. They did it a little bit last year, which was 2 months ago. And 10 days ago, they didn't burn anything significant. Now, if you dig a little bit deeper and you go on the metagraph, you can click incentive right here and you can clearly see one miner UID hotkey probably configured by the subnet that is getting 100% of the emissions. And you can see the 148 alpha tokens per 72 minutes again. They are clearly not burning this every 72 minutes. And if you look at their cold key balance, so click here, and they are systematically draining the wallet amounts. I don't know where they are not burning it, but the amounts are lowering. So maybe they are actually putting it into the liquidity pool. I'm not accusing no one, but you know, with this tweet, Doug is literally highlighting it that it's going to Coinbase, Mexi, Kraken. So yeah, how do you guys feel about this? I hope you learned something. I highly advise you guys check these things out. It's maybe gonna take you 30 minutes to an hour before you invest serious amounts into subnets. You know, do your due diligence. But yeah, a lot goes into these videos. Subscribe to the channel, follow on X, whatever the case is, because I do a lot of digging. Massive shout out to Doug. He helped me a lot understand a lot of under the hood stuff and chain metric and chain analyses. So yeah, go read that tweet once again. You know, comment down below. Do you think it's pretty crazy that subnet owners have control of miner emissions? What are your thoughts on that? Personally, we do not know the intention of these subnet owners. I would never judge them, you know, upfront like that. Maybe they're doing something we don't understand with the funds. We see that they're landing on exchanges. Maybe they need to cover costs. That's completely fine. But, you know, I just thought it was slightly misleading in terms of 100% miner burns. But yeah, I'm not writing them out. You know, it's still a very cool product. I think, you know, Void is building super cool things and they're like helping Bittensor fly out of its own shell into the base Ethereum and Solana chain. So this is amazing. They have real products. But I do feel a little bit unstable in terms of a subnet holder. So me to invest anything significant in that subnet would probably be off the table. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.